Live from the Bob Levy Broadcast Center overlooking the Toms River, it's time to get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Be a part of the show, 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. 6:08 Wednesday, June 29, 69 degrees. Up to 85 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio streaming live on the Radio Pop app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. We are joined in the studio by Jimmy Givens and Dr. Stan Liptzin from the Lakewood Historical Society. Good morning, fellas. How are you?
Good morning, Jeremy. How are you?
Oh, I am fantastic. So glad that you guys could join us. And Jimmy, I'm just going to say it. Thank you for waking me up with that shirt this morning. I appreciate it.
You know, it's a little loud.
What's that? The shirt?
Yeah.
No, it's perfect. It actually is very refreshing because I'm certainly not I'm not one to shy away from loud shirts, socks, pants, anything. So it's a good look. And it really screams Lakewood to me. So why don't you give us a quick overview of the Lakewood Historical Society and what you guys are all about?
Actually, it's more important now than ever to discuss Lakewood history. Our goal is to maintain for posterity a firm remembrance of the natural beauty of our pine trees in Lake Carasalgo, intermingled with an urban cosmopolitan coupled with our Victorian past and resort heritage. We wish to constantly expand and maintain an interactive museum for both residents and visitors. It's very interesting. Someone told me the other day that they were listening to NPR, and they had one of the rabbis from the university there say how Lakewood has changed, and it gives a false impression on what Lakewood is. They mentioned the riots in 1969, but what's important, I think, is that most people, with the exception of me and a few others, if we go back to my high school class of 1955, there may be 4 or 5 of us who still live in Lakewood. You know, many people have moved out. Therefore, the fact that we want to have a museum and have people remember what Lakewood is, and if people were playing around with Facebook the last couple of days, there's a lot of talk, what's going on, with Lakewood, why is it changing, etc. But Lakewood has had a wonderful past, and anyone who ever grows up in Lakewood and goes through the school system loves to come back, and every time we have a get-together, it is truly a reunion. And that's what we're here to preserve.
Right. It's funny, I was with freeholder Ginny Haynes yesterday, who obviously is a product of the Lakewood school system. So always proudly points out that she went through Lakewood, and so and myself, having been born here in Toms River, certainly have varying memories of Lakewood as it has evolved and changed over the years, but certainly remember Friday nights going to Peterson's restaurant. That was like our big night out with my grandparents. And but anyway, why don't you? So let's start with you, Dr. Liptzin. So how did you get involved? I know that you may have had a couple of minutes that you spent in Lakewood doing some things with the youth of Lakewood. Am I correct?
Yes, I guess so. I taught in Lakewood from 1959 through 2001. So I spent 42 years working in the Lakewood School District as a history teacher, department chairman, director of history and foreign languages, as a central office administrator, and I coached baseball in Lakewood for 32 years.
Wow.
And we did win 3, I'll brag a little bit, we did win 3 state championships and was totally involved in town. I ran the swimming program in the summer when the lake was open to the public, and we taught countless numbers of young Lakewood people to swim in an area where probably swimming was the most important tax dollar, or swimming instruction was the most important tax dollar their parents could have spent, for the simple reason that their lives could be saved, with the ocean and the lakes and the rivers and the proximity of our relationship to water in this area.
Right. So your ties to Lakewood certainly run deep then.
Very deep.
Right, and so I mean, and I assume it's kind of it's pretty much a love at this point of how long you spent there and the memories and what it's meant to you and kind of certainly what you've meant to the town.
If I could digress a moment,
you can digress.
I'm president of the Lakewood High School Athletic Hall of Fame, and we give a scholarship, out. Or we gave 4 scholarships out this year. And when I addressed the students who were there, I said, "I'm one of you. I went to Lakewood High School. I played baseball at Lakewood High School. My wife graduated from Lakewood High School. She was born in Lakewood High School. My 3 children graduated from Lakewood High School. And I still live in Lakewood. So Lakewood is a part of my life."
So shortstop or second base? That'd be my guess.
Combination of both, but mostly second base.
All right,
so good guess. Excellent
listen,
guess.
I'm just taking a shot there. So, Jimmy, I first of all I want to apologize because it's not really fair that I ask about your affiliation, how you're involved after we go through Dr. Lip. That's not fair, right? I mean, that because I'm sure that you have a similar type background relative to Lakewood.
Pretty much 53 years in Lakewood.
Nice.
And my folks were entertainers, and we moved down here or the Catskills when there were hotels. And that's what the history of Lakewood basically, to me, is. That's the most important part because that's the life that I lived.
Right.
But graduated Lakewood High School class of 70, which I've been told by many, many people is the best class they ever had. Oh,
sure.
And...
Clearly.
Absolutely.
Right.
And how I got involved with the Lakewood Historical Society, I am the last of the Lakewood Hotel musicians.
Okay.
If that means any has any historical value. But how I got involved with the Lakewood Historical Society was out of the blue, just like this shirt.
Yes.
Sheldon Walpin, the gentleman whose name the museum holds, called me one evening and literally out of the blue and says, "We've been talking and we'd like to have you on board." I didn't know what was going on. I didn't really know anything about it. Just come to a meeting. Just come to a meeting, see. So 5 years later, here I am sitting with you.
Look at that. Look at that. So the call came and most importantly, you responded.
Yes.
All right. So good. So we have a lot to talk about what's on the playlist. See what I did there? I used a musical term.
Yes.
I'm trying to we're trying to vibe over here.
There you
go.
So
we have a lot to talk about around the playlist of what's happening with the Lakewood Historical Society and what you guys are working on. And I'd like to go through those things when we come back. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Cool. Sure. Dr. Stan Liptzin and Jimmy Givens, Lakewood Historical Society, back after this.
Rush Limbaugh today at noon. More Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin coming up next. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Now, back to Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 and WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. We are here with Dr. Stan Liptzin and Jimmy Givens talking about the Lakewood Historical Society and the museum, which is an important piece that we need to touch on. So why don't we talk a little about the museum? So tell me, Dr. Stan, what do we have?
Okay, to begin with, we'll go back to the origins of the museum. The Lakewood Heritage Commission in 2004 established the Sheldon Walpin Lakewood Heritage Museum at the former Princeton Avenue School, which was my high school way back when I graduated in 1955, and to display artifacts and serve as a focal point for disseminating and depicting the rich history and heritage of Lakewood. The first home for the museum was lost in 2009 when the Lakewood Board of Education sold the building for, quote, operating expenses. Since that time, we had to place these wonderful artifacts in storage. However, we did establish the Lakewood Historical Society and became a 501c3 fundraising entity. And what we've done is we worked tirelessly to find a new site, which came about when the township offered us Couser Hall, the last remaining building in Pine Park, for our museum. Since that time, we have spent the last 4 years trying to refurbish and restore a building that was built in 1927 as a science lab and school classroom building into a museum. This building was part of the elite Newman School for Boys, a private Catholic preparatory school for 6th through 12th grade students of parents in high society. This is a 15,000 square foot masonry edifice with early 20th century design and architecture. Now, we've done quite a bit, and we got to give a lot of credit to certain people like Bob Kirshner, who has taken the rebuilding of this building under his own wing, and through his auspices, we're on the cusp of opening. We are just about ready to open, and Jimmy will talk a little bit later about the exact opening date. Our ambitions are sky high, but our resources are not. And as we work on the rebuilding, renovating, and restoring Coosa Hall into the Sheldon Walpin Lakewood Historical Museum, the role of private giving becomes and will continue to be exceptionally important. So, you know, we're always reaching out. And we are ready to invite anyone over, although we have not had the grand opening yet. You know, if someone would call Jimmy or me, we would love to have WOBM come and take a look at what we have. We probably have more artifacts in our museum than most town museums have. Cool. It really is a beautiful, thing to look at.
No doubt about that, and we'll give that information out later. But you kind of segued nicely for us into the Toastimonial, right, which is also the ribbon cutting and grand opening, right? So why don't you tell us a little about that?
All right, yeah, the Toastimonial is in honor of Bob Kirshner because of the wonderful work and ideas that he had and a lot of contacts. He knew who to call, the contractors and everything, to renovate the building, and believe me, Jeremy, it is beautiful. You'd never know it was old.
Right.
It is old. It still has its
Jimmy, I just want to correct you. I mean, just because something's old doesn't mean it's not beautiful.
Of course not.
I'm just saying, let's not throw that out there.
Oh,
come on,
we're
in Ocean County, for God's sake.
Oh,
yeah, look at me.
Come on, let's move along. Exactly. Thank you. I threw you the alley-oop and you sent it in. Oh, wrong sport.
The Olympics.
All right, go ahead, right along.
And so we're going to honor Bob on September 7th, Wednesday, September 7th, at Lakewood Country Club, which is on West County Line Road, and it will begin at 6:30.
Okay.
5:30, excuse me. It'll begin at 5:30 at the Sheldon Walpin Lakewood Historical Museum right there in Pine Park. We'll have a tour of the museum, little horse divers and a few things like that running around, and then we'll rejoin over at the Lakewood Country Club from 6:30 on, and the cost for the Toastimonial is $100 per person, and you can contact Robin Taylor Wellett at 732-330-5384.
Okay, cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. And so why don't we? We've mentioned Sheldon Walpin a couple times, and we know he was Mr. Lakewood, right? And did a ton of work to, I guess, created the Lakewood Historical Society, right? Mm. And there's also the Sheldon Walpin Memorial Car Show.
Yes.
So what's that all about?
Oh man, we are going to have fun. This is our third car show, which is being held on Sunday, July 10th. From 2 to 5:30 in the afternoon, and the Lakewood PBA number 71 bus will be on hand, and members of the PBA will be selling hot dogs, hamburgers, chips, and soda. And we always thank them for their continued support.
Right.
And for the first time this year, we're having the Lakewood First Aid will be there giving an ambulance tour, a CPR demonstration. They'll be offering in the future a CPR certification course, and we'll be helping them with their membership recruiting drive.
Awesome. And so we'll be selling, there'll be Historical Society merchandise for sale.
Yes.
There's trophies, presentations.
Yep.
The Ocean County Society of Model Railroaders.
Yes.
Oh, my God. The Doctor of Musicology. That's you. You're the Doctor of Musicology. Oh,
Yes.
my goodness. So we have two doctors here with us today.
Yeah, I guess.
So we're up against the break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some other events coming up that the Lakewood Historical Society is involved in. We will have further conversations with both of the good doctors from Lakewood. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin back after this.
Coming up next, the latest from WOBM News, the Town Square, New Jersey News Network, and Fox News Radio. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. 6:32, Wednesday, June 29, 69 degrees. Got up to 85 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the radio, pop-up, and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. We are joined by Dr. Stan Liptzin and Doctor of Musicology, Jimmy Givens.
Thank you.
Right, and no problem. And I almost feel like I'm insulting. Don't take
Not
this
at
wrong,
all.
but I feel like I'm insulting Dr. Liptzin when I say that. You're like, no, you're not insulting me. I'm like, no, I'm not insulting you. Anyway, moving right along. So I know we have some other great events on the docket. So hit us up. You have like 2 minutes to go through the rest of them.
All right, we got the a fundraiser at Jersey Mike's over there on Route 70 and Airport Road. That will be happening on Wednesday, July 20th from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until they're closing at 9. No coupon is necessary. Just show up. And anything you order, 20% of everyone's meal will be donated at that time to the Lakewood Historical Society for the renovations to Couser Hall, and it's valid only at the Lakewood location. So we've got that coming up, the car show, and we talked about the Toastimonial, which is on Wednesday, September 7th, and that is also going to be the official ribbon cutting and grand opening of the Sheldon Walpin Lakewood Historical Museum. Now, just recently we had an annual stroll down memory lane, and this year's luncheon was held at Georgian Court University, which was themed to our calendar, which you have, and we do this every year. Whatever the calendar is, the theme of the luncheon is, and a beautiful presentation by former president of GCU, Sister Barbara Williams. Now, I've got to make mention of next year's calendar, Jeremy, and luncheon will be dedicated to the memory of the best, greatest music teacher Lakewood High School ever had, and that is it's dedicated to the memory of Mr. Franklin H. Unger, who passed away recently, and he was great. Something else that we are looking for, family histories. If you're born in Lakewood, moved to Lakewood, did you attend Lakewood High School? Any memories you may have, family or friends who have a deep history in Lakewood, we're looking for contributions to our family history album and to our newsletter. And one of those newsletters, Jeremy, has Andrew Greenberg, whose family owned May Greens.
Oh, all right.
And May Green's grandmother was related to, and got the idea going from the egg farm to the gift business, was their cousin of the Fortunoff family.
Oh.
So there's some more history for you. So if you'd like to share your memories and history along with some photos, you can contact me personally at my open email, huntleyhaverstock007@gmail.com. Huntley Haverstock is a character by Alfred Hitchcock in the movie Foreign Correspondent. I think that's just a cool name.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the Hitchcock Foreign Correspondent movie.
You got to see it.
I'm putting it on my Netflix list right now.
Okay.
It's in there. All right, listen. I need to do something now. All right, which is I need to give you guys both a magic wand. All right.
Okay.
I didn't, honestly, I'm not going to lie. I didn't have magic wands for both of you this morning, but Zach actually went down to the basement and grabbed an extra. So we're good now. This is your opportunity to make a difference, make a change, make something happen. Just sprinkling some pixie dust, some fairy dust, or wiggling your nose, doing whatever it takes to make a difference. So we're going to start with you, Dr. Stan Liptzin. What are you doing with your magic wand?
Basically, what we'd like to do is get as many people as possible to come and visit the museum. We have 6 rooms right now, which we've entitled galleries. And we tried to break them into various segments. For example, Gallery 101, we were able to obtain the honor roll that Lakewood Township had for all the persons in Lakewood who fought in World War II. My father-in-law's name happens to be on that list as well. So that's one example. Gallery 106 is dedicated to Lakewood High School and Lakewood High School athletics as well. We have had a rich athletic history. As I mentioned, a few things in baseball. We had an undefeated football team in 1964. I was an assistant coach, at that time. Gallery 102 is involved with elementary schools and religious and ethnic groups. So we try and reach everybody. Gallery 104 is involved with the Lakewood hotels. We were able to take the Hotel Lieberman sign. Natalie Lieberman Silverman was a classmate of mine. She was in homeroom in a number of my classes in high school. We graduated together, and through her auspices, we were able to maintain and refurbish the museum thanks to her donation. And so we have a Hotel Lieberman sign. We have items from the Manhattan Hotel and so on, and the various businesses in Lakewood as well. So we have an awful lot for people to see. So our prime object, besides raising money that I had mentioned earlier, because we have to keep going, we do operate on a shoestring. And as I said before, our ambitions are sky high, but our resources are not. We want people to come. And
Gotcha.
if you come, you'll see. Or as they said in that baseball movie, if you will build it, they will come.
Right.
That's what we're trying
So
to do.
you built it, so now they should just come.
That's right. Exactly.
By the way, there's no way that was just one magic wand. I think you took like the whole box and did like 12 things there. I'm just saying.
Well, thank you.
But nice job, doing that. So next time we need a filibuster on the floor of the Senate, they're giving you a call.
I just want to say I'm going to interrupt and say one thing.
Go ahead.
When I was studying for my PhD, a philosopher in our department said, the trouble with you historians is you write too much. Well, I guess I talk too much, too.
Listen, being the son of two attorneys, I totally understand where you're coming from. Dr. Givens.
That's me.
Go ahead.
Well, my area, let me put it this way. We have a historian named Ben Pulcrano who has volumes of history, of photographs of all of the hotels that were ever in Lakewood. My area of expertise are the hotels from 1963 when we first moved here until the last hotel, which was the Capitol Hotel, which just was recently torn down. So that and entertainment. Ben's hotel stuff is more historical. Mine is on an entertainment level.
Right. Messing
with the people. Messing with their heads and everything like that, having a good time.
Exactly.
So I was raised and worked in the hotels, so that's my life, and that's where I'm comfortable.
Gotcha.
So that's my pixie dust.
Very nice, very nice. So we have about 2 minutes left. So why don't you give me the important information, like the website, the Facebook page, the phone numbers, Twitter, Instagram, Tinder, whatever you got. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, if you want to check out our website, it's the LakewoodNJHistoricalSociety.org. And you can like us on Facebook as well.
Okay.
Our phone number is 848 area code 240-5184. And that's basically how you can contact us. And if you have any inquiries, go to the contact page on our website, and very easy.
Very good.
Very easy.
Dr. Stan Liptzin, Jimmy Givens, guys, thank you so much. And listen, and we joked around a little bit this morning, which is, we're doing an entertainment show after all. We have to excite, inspire, and entertain. But in all seriousness, you guys are doing a fantastic job, really preserving the rich history of Lakewood. It's easy for folks to forget, what Lakewood used to be. Just like I love going on Facebook and seeing those old photos of what downtown Toms River used to look like. And, as somebody that grew up here and was born here in the 70s, and as my parents always say, came to Ocean County on the second wagon train. We definitely do appreciate the history of Ocean County and especially of Lakewood. So thank you so much for all you do every day, giving back to the community.
Thank you for having us, Jeremy.
We appreciate it so much.
More Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin back after this.
Everything you need to know about the Jersey Shore. This is Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.